Facebook page. Thanks so much for coming down the lane every day through the screen door into the kitchen table. We're going to have a big old heaping helping of Hop Sing's Ag Lunch. Chicken fried steak, jalapeno gravy, plenty of Nanny's yeast rolls, and a cold cucumber salad and a glass of iced tea. And we're going to talk about the things that are affecting agriculture. Let's take a look at our commodities, remembering we have 14 stations. We try to get the commodities as close to the noon hour as we can get them. So here we go. And let's begin with the corn contract from Chicago. December corn, $3.38 even money, down 3/4. November beans down 2 1/4 at $8.97 1/4. Your December Kansas City hard red winter wheat contract up 5 3/4 at $4.41 3/4. Taking a look at number 2 cotton December contract, $63.28 up 29. October live cattle's up 25 at 110.40. October feeder cattle down 87 at 147.60. October lean hogs up 107 at 53.42. Class 3 milk up 4 at 19.82. Your September U.S. dollar down 207 at 93.11. December gold is down 19 at $1,951.50 by the ounce. And September West Texas Intermediate crude's down 21 at 42.03. Neighbor, one of the things that we really always enjoy doing is providing you Texas Farm Bureau Radio News Desk programming. We haven't had a place within our down on the farm structure to do much with Texas Farm Bureau Roundup, though, other than to provide you vignettes from the different regions as they come up each and every week. Right now, let's go to Tom Nicoletti and see who his guest is and from what region of Texas this reporter's coming. Tom?
Today we go to the Coastal Bend, and Harvey Buring is reporting for us on agricultural activity in that part of the state. And here we are in middle of August. Harvey, give us an update on crop conditions and what farmers are doing in the heat out there.
Well, Tom, Coastal Bend, middle of August means harvest time for cotton farmers and grain farmers trying to wrap up their harvest on their late planted portion of the crop, and that has been very active with both combines and cotton pickers in the field around the area. Our cotton harvest was delayed over on the east side of the Nueces County area, and they have had a bit of scattered shower activity to kind of slow down some of the harvest activities.
Harvey, what do some of the yields look like for those crops?
Well, on the eastern portion of the Coastal Bend, cotton yields appear to be coming in much higher than we had anticipated earlier in the season, and that's good news for those producers out in that part of the Coastal Bend area. There's some 2.5 bale kind of cotton being reported fairly prevalently in the areas around Chapman Ranch to Taft, even some 3 bale cotton I've heard. But by and large, as you go west in areas where the planting conditions were less than optimum, and some of that cotton didn't come up to a great stand, some of those yields in areas that didn't receive much rainfall during the season are going to be more like a 1.5 bale type cotton. So it'll run across the board, but by and large, producers here in the Coastal Bend, I think, feel very fortunate to have the amount of cotton in the field ready to harvest. And since they were fortunate enough to be spared from some serious damage from recent Hurricane Hannah, because most of that cotton still had leaves on it, and we didn't get more than 30, 40 mile an hour winds, we all feel very fortunate to have the crop of cotton still standing in the fields that we do have.
What about rangeland pasture conditions for the cattle in the region?
Well, the areas that did receive 2.5 inches from Hurricane Hannah and have picked up a couple of additional thunderstorms, those conditions are really excellent for the month of August. You drive in the other areas that missed some of those rains, and the pasture conditions are tapering off. Some dry spots up in Live Oak County between the Oakville and Whitsett area still remain very, very dry in that part of the northern portion of the coastal bend. But by and large, the southern portion of the coastal bend down in Clayburgh, Kennedy counties that receive more rain, southern Jim Wells, all are above average at this point in time, and cattle look very good in those regions.
That again is Harvey Buring. He's reporting for us today from the coastal bend of Texas.
To learn more about pioneer corn and soybean production, we've taken to the air. We're approaching Tipton, Indiana. Tipton is a small town, but it plays a big role in the Pioneer pipeline. Below me is one of Pioneer's seed production facilities. Hold right here, please. I'm looking down at 1, 2, 3, looks like a dozen large structures, each with a specific role to turn seed corn into corn seed. Husking, drying, shelling, cleaning, color sorting, seed sizing, the list goes on. From up here, it's an impressive operation, all designed to make sure each seed in a Pioneer bag is the highest quality. The seed production plant in Tipton. Another place that makes Pioneer, Pioneer. You'll hear more from me later. For now, let your local Pioneer sales representative hear from you.
Neighbor Hop Sings ready to serve. Chicken fried steak, jalapeno gravy, plenty of anise yeast rolls, and a cold cucumber salad. There's iced tea in the picture. There is soda water in the number 2 wash tub. And there's hot coffee in the coffee pot. Y'all pour yourself a cup while I talk to Madison Bexley, Lockhart Livestock. They had a good sale in Lockhart. Maddie, talk to us about it.
Good morning, Larry. We had a good day. We had 1224 with 217 cows and 25 bulls, 177 sellers, and 76 buyers.
Let's walk the pins.
On the sucker cows, the market would have been really active yesterday. The front end of the pairs brought and the 3-in-1s brought from 13 to 1750. The other good pairs from 1,000 to 1275. The mediocre and middle age from 8 to 975. The good bred cows from 850 to 1100. The mediocre middle aged and shortbreds from 5 to 800. The packer cows and bulls will have worked a little lower this week. The good high yielding cows from 57 to 68.5. The medium yielding from 50 to 56. The low yielding from 32 to 49. The good high yielding packer bulls from 86 to 93. The low and medium yielding from 60 to 85. The calves and yearlings would have sold steady to a few dollars better on a real active market this week. We had a lot of demand for the good quality cattle, and for the most part, the quality was real good yesterday. So all in all, it was a good day.
Good deal. Hope the quality and demand stays with our sale next week. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you for the Thursday sale in Lockhart.
Yeah, I had a guy call this week. He said he might have 100 cows next week on the sellout deal, so we hope they come in. But you can always check us out on Facebook, or you can call the barn at 512-398-3476. My cell phone at 979-540-9793. Or you can ring Bubba at 512-461-6091.
Where has Pioneer corn seed development taken me today? Well, first of all, it's not day, it's night. I'm here. What's impressive about Pioneer's corn seed development? I'm here in York County, Nebraska. I'm on the side of the road. It's dark, pitch black, except for one thing. Well, off in the distance, about a quarter mile away, something is lit up. Can you hear it? That's Boreas, one of Pioneer's mobile wind machines. It looks like some mashup of a transformer and a highboy sprayer, and it can generate wind forces exceeding 100 miles per hour. It's like a tornado on wheels. Pioneer uses this machine to test its corn hybrids for standability. These tests are one of the reasons Pioneer has seen improved stalk strength and root scores year after year. Boreas, one of the things that makes Pioneer, Pioneer. You'll hear more from me later. For now, let your local Pioneer sales representative hear from you.
Neighbor, let's travel a bit up to McLennan County. Waco is the county seat. Talk to Dr. Shane McClellan. I think corn shelling's about done. We still need to get a cotton crop out of the field. And I would imagine that there's been lots of hay made because they've caught a little bit of moisture in that country. Dr. McClellan?
Most of the corn in McLennan County has been shelled, but as you go north into Hill County, Ellis County, there's still a good bit of corn still in the field. Average yields are good for our area with a lot of 90 to 100 bushel corn. The county replicated plots were very good as they averaged over 156 bushels. The county grain sorghum replicated plots also averaged very well, over 7,000 pounds an acre. A big thank you to Mark Wheathorn and Greg Westerfeld, who planted and managed, harvested those extension result demonstrations. I do encourage all producers to look at your local result demonstrations to see how hybrids do in your area, and look at it over time. Don't just look at 1 year's worth of data. Look at hybrids and how they grow in different weather environments, different patterns, and how they produce. Cotton harvest is just a few weeks away, and I look forward to hearing results of yields. We will be able to see the difference that summer rains make on this year's crop. It should be a good difference. Many of our forage growers continue to cut and bale hay. Bermuda grass that is being cut now is slower to regrow, and it's possible that hay cut now we could be actually cutting again before or around frost. We will need a good rain or two to carry us that far, but it can happen. There is more hay around out in the country than we've had in a while, so hay supplies are still building. The long-term weather forecast is calling for a dry and warmer fall and winter. It's Texas, and of course that forecast will change tomorrow, but it is a reassuring feeling to know that we've got available hay, and we still make more hay before summer is out. Until next time, this has been Dr. Shane McLeod from Waco with the Texas Farm Bureau Roundup.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Neighbor, it's about time for another livestock market operator report. There's cattle in the alleyway. They must be shipping them out from the sale they had yesterday in San Saba. Old Ken Jordan Cattle Auction. Ken, how'd that sale go?
You bet, Larry. We had right at 2,000 head today. Total for the week, I believe, was right at 3,700 head. I thought overall the market this week was active. Good demand. I thought the stocker steers today were probably 4 to 5 higher. A lot of those lighter cattle coming to town, I guess, due to the drier weather. Had a group of 3 steers today with 498 at $1.66, $827 on those. I thought the stocker heifers were pretty well steady after last week's big increases we had. I thought the feeder steers were probably steady compared to last week. I did have a draft of steers weighed 783 at $1.30. A little over $1,018 on those, and I thought the feeder heifers were probably 1 to 3 lower today after last week's increase on those too. Packer cows were probably 5 to 7 lower. They've taken quite a bit off these cows, but they're still very strong. Bulls were probably 4 to 5 lower with no real high yielding bulls offered today. So it's kind of hard to get a test on that as a whole. Pairs and bred cows I thought overall were steady, Larry.
Good deal. What do you see for Monday's sale in Mason?
I've got one ranch bringing in 2 truckloads, about 170 head of Angus calves. That'll be probably kind of that 4 weight, 4.5 weight. They're coming out dry country. They're just going to go ahead and get them off the cows. Then I got 2 or 3 other drafts will be there, so I think we'll have a pretty good run. Also, it looks like got a little break in the weather coming on Monday morning. Maybe got a little chance of rain down in the 90s all week pretty well.
Sounds like heaven to me. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Y'all can give us a call. Area code 325-372-5159. Also, we got our female sale next Saturday. A lot of pictures, a lot of updates. Over 2,000 head, Larry, on the 22nd of August. Go to our website, jordancattle.com, and take a look there.
We're visiting with Scott Stanislav, technical agronomist for DeKalb, Asgrow, and Delta Pine. And Scott, you and I have been talking about crop conditions and issues here in South Texas all season long, and there definitely has not been a lack of things to talk about this year.
No, there has not. It's been a busy year, and we've had some weather events that have hurt some things. We've had some really good crops in some areas. It's been all over the board.
Well, Scott, this is our last update, so remind growers where they can go to find more information on DeKalb, Asgrow, and Delta Pine.
Absolutely. Well, I'd point a grower to www.DeKalbAsgrowDeltaPine.com. There they can find product information, yield information as well as going to YouTube and looking at DeKalb, Asgrow, Delta Pine, East Texas, and Oklahoma. That's our YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll be posting some updates there. And I really just want to thank everybody for their support of the DeKalb, Asgrow, and Delta Pine brands.
Scott Stanislav, technical agronomist for DeKalb, Asgrow, and Delta Pine here in South Texas.
We're on the line with Russell Heller from Lexington Livestock Commission Company. Speaking about 8 o'clock on Friday morning, looking toward a Saturday sale in Lexington. What's it looking like, Russell?
Yes, sir. I know about 4 or 5 sets of calves, anywhere from 10 to probably 30 head apiece.
Good. How they bred?
Some are some Charolais and some are some Black Angus cross, and another set some Red Baldies.
What weight do you think they are?
Kind of 4 1/4 up to 650.
Good deal. Got a good start to a great sale in Lexington on Saturday. Russell Heller, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yes, sir. You can get me on my cell, and that number is 979-820-7002.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Neighbor, I'm going to take a look at cotton and grain markets right quick. While I handle that chore, y'all listen to Focus on Ag from the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Hurricane Hannah cost South Texas farmers millions. I'm Kerry Martin with Focus on Agriculture on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. Economists are finally getting a handle on just how much damage Hurricane Hannah caused to South Texas agriculture. Dr. Samuel Zapata is a Texas A&M AgriLife Extension economist. He says most of the damage occurred to the cotton crop, but several other crops were affected as well.
Cotton was one of the most affected crops. About 95-98% of all the expected crop was damaged due to hurricane, but also other crops were affected. For example, citrus was also heavily affected by the strong winds and the rain as well.
Dr. Zapata estimates the total agricultural damage at $176 million, wiping out over 95% of the South Texas cotton crop. He estimates citrus damage at $67 million, sugarcane damage at $12 million, and sesame losses topped $3 million.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
6 F-35A fighter jets, 1 NFL team, a trip to the moon, all have a $1 billion price tag. Something else that costs $1 billion? Respiratory challenges in cattle each year. It's time to fight back against costly respiratory challenges. That's why Purina starter feeds are formulated with RX3 immune support technology. It boosts calves' natural defenses, priming their immune systems from the start. Talk to your Purina rep to learn more. The Department of Agriculture has extended the deadline for farmers to apply for the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program to September 11th. American Farm Bureau Chief Economist John Newton says about half of the money in that program is still available.
Through the first 8 to 9 weeks, we've seen only about $7 billion of the estimated $15.4 billion go out to producers. And in the case of specialty crop producers, at this point, only about $300 million has been paid to those growers. So I think they need more time to engage with FSA, do a little bit more outreach so that farmers across the country know that this critical support's available.
USDA also expanded the number of covered commodities included in the CFAP program. Among the additions are dozens of specialty crops, aquaculture, nursery crops, and cut flowers. I'm Kerry Martin on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Neighbor, let's take a look at the grains, courtesy of John Tuggle, 800-288-4453. Sorghum through Corpus in August, D's plus 175, 917. We'll call Progresso $8. Yellow corn through Corpus in August, September plus 35, 360 and a quarter. Houston, September plus 25, 350 and a quarter. Progresso 705 by the hundredweight. Hard red winter wheat through Corpus in August, September plus 80, 505. Houston, September plus a dollar bill, 525. And beans through Houston, August, September delivery, November less 15, 884 and a half. And Placido, November less 60, 839 and a half. 310 bale of East Texas cotton, 425 bale of West Texas cotton. Neighbor, they sold from $57.43 to $59.93. That's it for the grains and cotton. That's it for Down on the Farm. That's it for me, your host, Larry Marble. Neighbor, go out and make it a grand Friday and a great weekend.